Welcome back to our channel, ladies and gentlemen, on this Jamhuri evening. I maintain that the only reason why I celebrated this day is because of our sons and daughters who sacrificed to ensure that we gained independence and autonomy in our country. Otherwise, there's no reason to celebrate this day. This day was supposed to be uniting us, and the government should have been bothered about the unity of Kenyans and how to honor those who fought for our independence. But that was not the case. As people were waiting for this day to go and celebrate it in Uhuru Gardens, the government was bothered about one thing: how much crowd the government could pull to that venue. That was it. They were so much worried about the number of people who would be there. And that is the reason why kids were hired and given some green t-shirts to cheer up William Samoei Ruto. I want us to read two tweets from bloggers of the Kenya Kwanza team, and you will understand that they were not bothered about our heroes who fought for our independence. Neither were they bothered about our country, the economy, the unity and all that. There is one person here called Dan Nyaga. Dan Nyaga went to his Twitter handle, otherwise known as X, and he said they thought Uhuru Gardens was going to be empty, so that waanze zile za watu wamechoka na Ruto. They've been shocked. Uhuru Gardens was full and energetic. That is Dan Nyaga telling us that they thought. I don't know who the they is, but I think he's referring to the supporters of Azimio. It tells you what was in their mind. Then a man who needs no introduction, Abuga Makori, is trying to echo the very sentiments in different words. He's saying over 30,000 Kenyans at Uhuru Gardens to celebrate Jamhuri Day, a remarkable show of confidence on President William Ruto despite the challenges artificially created by the previous administration. So he's saying that there were 30,000 crowd, and it's also in their usual manner dragging in the name of Uhuru Kenyatta. They can never say anything without adding the spice. The spice to them here is Uhuru Kenyatta or the previous regime. And that is the reason, ladies and gentlemen, why, as they were trying to fool people with the crowd that were at the front, some secret cameramen went and took what was happening at the center of Uhuru Gardens. And it is this video that has been going viral. A video that has really vexed the Kenya Kwanza team, because they did not want to show that people boycotted that event. But that is the truth. Now, the reason why I'm really concerned about these tweets, and the reason why I'm concerned about the intention of the government, is because I'm just wondering, the number one role, and which is the key, once a government has been elected to power, is to ensure that people are united. But if you look at what is happening, on the contrary, William Ruto is so much bothered about pulling crowds. And the reason is the government is still suffering from legitimacy. Ever since the president and his deputy took oath of office, they still don't feel recognized. They still don't feel that there's that legality and legitimacy that gives them the authority to rule. That is why they do a lot of things to show that they're in power, sometimes reminding people that they are in power. It is like a father who's reminding the children that he's the father, yet it is something that should come out automatically. The answer to legitimacy has been one. It has never changed. Open the server. It is a song that has been sung many times, so that you don't need to go around telling people that you are the president. I have seen them on many occasions telling us that in the last year's elections, people voted beyond tribal lines. And people voted and decided to cross over peacefully without going to the streets. Open the server is the answer to this. Number two, as Makori says, that the 30,000, according to them, 30,000 people who went to Uhuru Gardens shows that there is confidence in this regime. The issue of confidence and trust has been at the center of the Kenya Kwanza regime. And they understand it fully, because confidence and trust does not come once. When you meet someone for the first time, you need to engage for some days for you to trust someone, for you to trust a partner, for you to trust someone with your business or with your money. You must have dealt or engaged or rubbed shoulders for some times. When this regime campaigned to be elected, they gave promises. One of the reasons why you build confidence and trust is whether someone can obey their part of the bargain, whether they can keep their promises. And this government understands very well that they promised heaven. They can't deliver anything. And so they understand through the intelligence report that they have that the level of trust and confidence has gone down, and it continues to go down by the day. And this is why they are so much concerned. That is why they are mentioning it. And the answer is one: keep your promises. Stop listening to the international community. That is how the trust shall be built. We can't have a government that promised to lower down the cost of living, yet we have a lot of corruption and wastage and high taxes. That trust shall continue, the trust level shall continue to widen. The other reason why the government is concerned, and it is very true, that people were not going to attend, and that is why they had to ferry people and people. In fact, if you are in Nairobi and you didn't get from 500 shillings to 1,000, then I don't know. Especially if you're in the stronghold, the UDA stronghold, because people are being paid. The reason why people are tired of attending these rallies, number one, people feel by the end of the day, lazima nikule, so wacha niende kazi yangu. People are also tired of listening to fallacies and lies, because we have a regime that will look straight into our faces and lie to us without blinking, and people are tired of it. Some of them say, wacha nitaona baadaye kwa social media venye alidanganya. So the lies are things that people don't want to hear anymore. In fact, one of the very names that William Ruto has earned is Kaunda Uongo Man. You know, names don't just come. For those who are in school, especially the primary level and secondary, people used to give teachers names. And names are given according to your traits. There is no way people will start calling you Uongo Man if you are not lying to them. And it does not come if you lie once. You have to lie to them. You have to make it a habit. So people didn't want to go there because of the lies. Number two, the unkept promises is not a worry to the Kenya Kwanza regime. They always want to promise more and more, and people don't want to listen to it. They will tell women that I will be giving you diaper for the first 3 months that you have a baby or so. Later they forget it completely and they will continue more to promise more of it. And so people do not want to hear more of promises, and they want these promises to be implemented. So people didn't want to go. And they are right, they knew very well people are not going to go there. And number four, the defensive nature of trying to resolve Kenyans' problems and predicaments. We have a problem today. We have a persistent blackout, and a minister who is being paid by taxpayers' money, and we expect an explanation from him or her, comes up and tells us that the problem was caused by the previous regime. Our international airport is leaking, and they tell us that it was due to the shady contracts of the previous regime. People are tired. And we are not saying that the previous regime was impeccable. No. They had their strengths and their weaknesses, those who worked under the previous regime, including our president today, who was the deputy president. He was part and parcel of the success and the mess. That cannot be taken away. And so you cannot come and start blaming the previous regime if you want to progress. And this is the reason why people were really very tired. You know, a lamb can never be a lion. That is the truth. A lamb can never be a lion. A lion is a lion. A lamb will continue being a lamb. We all know today, if Raila stands and says that we will be meeting in Uhuru Park, and it will be an impromptu announcement. He simply says in the evening, without ferrying people, without paying people, people will throng in their numbers Uhuru Park. Why? The question of trust and love is there. When money is lost, Raila will always tell us that in the oil deal, money is lost. When our children are suffering because the education sector has been infiltrated with corruption, Raila will tell us. And so let this government not attempt to compete with Raila on how to pull crowds and all that. It is about who they trust. It's about the numbers. Raila has always maintained that I managed to get 8 million in the previous election, and the other team got 5 million. This will continue to bother this regime, as the Bible puts it very clearly, that a righteous man is ever brave as a lion, but the guilty man will flee even when no one is pursuing them. They will be running. And this is exactly what is happening to this government.